Hello and welcome to the British Sitcom History Podcast. I'm Gareth and with me as always is Alan.
Hello.
Hello, and we are continuing with some bonus content as part of our Last of the Summer Wine coverage. But what we're covering has got nothing to do with Last of the Summer Wine, right?
It's pretty tangentially connected, yeah.
Yeah. Written by the same geezer, and that'll do for us.
Yeah, so what I wanted to look at here was Spanners 11, which is one of the episodes from 7 of 1, an anthology series.
We've talked about 7 of 1 before because it's got some very famous offspring in the shape of Porridge and Open All Hours, right?
Yeah, so Roy Clarke, obviously, who wrote Open All Hours, he also wrote this episode of the anthology series. This one did not go to a full series in the same way that Open All Hours did. But as it's a similar time period to what the Last of the Summer Wine we were talking about as well. And this is a time when Roy Clarke was kind of just being discovered as a comedy writer, so he was kind of pumping out a lot of ideas, and some of them took, and obviously he had a long career.
Some of them didn't.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of reasons for that. It might not necessarily be down to pure quality, so let's have a look at Spanners.
Well, we've talked quite a bit about Roy Clarke in our Last of the Summer Wine coverage, so we don't need to bang on too much about him. But yeah, this is him just trying a load of different things, obviously in conjunction with Ronnie Barker, but it was a real vehicle for him to try some different things out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this series was made in between the pilot of Last of the Summer Wine being made and the first series of Last of the Summer Wine being made. So this really was a time, as we said, with Roy Clarke. He'd been writing drama, and someone had kind of gone, write a comedy. And so he started writing comedies, and so they threw a few pilots at him, and like one of them's Last of the Summer Wine, one's Open All Hours. Like, what more do you want from the man? Like, that's pretty good going. Also, I did notice actually that this particular episode of 7 of 1 was produced and directed by Harold Snowd, who did go on to make Keeping Up Appearances with Roy Clarke. We've talked about that. We did a whole episode on that. But I think this was the only time they worked together before that, as far as I could see.
Interesting.
So there's a big gap there. They famously didn't get on very well.
Okay. So Spanners 11, it's a one-off, and it is about a local football team who are very poor, and Albert Spanner is the coach. He's also the bloke what sells the hot dogs, but he's played by Ronnie Barker.
Yeah, and it does seem like he's the manager of the team, but he's mostly there to make some money out of it. That's kind of
he likes a pound note. That's the characteristic that we get from him. Yeah. But so I mean, what we'll do is we'll kind of talk through the episode a little bit, and it sort of opens up with quite a nice. Is it a crane shot? When I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, a drone shot," and then I realised it's not a drone, Gareth. Come on, what would that have been? A crane shot?
Oh, shall I show you it, and we'll have a look at it?
Oh, we got the clip. Of course we have. We're a visual now.
We're all visual guys.
So it's so it's like a crane shot. It opens up on some houses. They're quite nice houses actually. They've got cars outside. Oh, I didn't know there was going to be music. I'll shut up.
Yeah. So this is just showing the very opening of the episode. But yeah, a crane shot across a sort of a very low league football pitch, and then a close up on the newspaper, which Ashfield beaten yet again is the headline there. Yeah,
so we're setting up this football team's rubbish. But I just wanted to. I'm curious about that crane shot. That feels like that's quite expensive.
Well, I don't know, because all they've done really here is, I'm just going to show this again, quick visual. I'm just going to scroll through it just so we can see.
But there's a nice houses. They've got cars outside. That looks like a bit of a scrapyard. But yes, but those houses are quite big. And then this football, it looks quite leafy. It looks quite like a nice place. It's not that rough, really.
Oh, that looks pretty rough to me, mate.
I don't think so.
By 1970s standard, I suppose. Yeah.
Do you have any idea where this was filmed? I did a bit of research on this to try and find it out.
Go on then.
Well, so according to another TV blogger, and this was written years ago, somebody had written on a blog that it was at Edgware Town FC, and Edgware Town have since moved. So this, if he's correct, this football pitch doesn't exist anymore. It's just covered in houses now. And I couldn't really confirm that anywhere else. So I don't know for sure is the honest answer. But Edgware would kind of make sense. It's near Shepherd's Bush. It's near the BBC. You know, it's kind of decent, not too far to decamp.
I did actually look that up as well. I looked up where the old Edgware ground was, the White Line ground it was called.
That's right, yeah.
It is now a housing estate and like a Premier Inn. But there's a building there, basically, that was at one point called Gemini House. It's now called Shishukunj Banavan. Beautiful British name. but that building was there. This might be the building that they were on top of to do this shot, is basically what I'm saying.
I see what you've done there. Yes,
that's my best guess. But I'm sort of putting a few bits and pieces together there.
Fair enough. You see, I'm looking at what we can see there, and it just looks like a load of residential houses. So I wasn't. I didn't think there would be a massive skyscraper.
Well, it's not that big a building, which makes me think
it's not that big.
If they put a crane on the building, I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe. But these houses that are in the shot.
This is our brand. But let's not get too deep into what we don't know.
But none of it's there now, is safe to say. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Another note I had on this, in the titles there, it's Spanners 11 is the name of it. And it's 11 in text, not XI, not 11 as in Roman numerals. Why is that? Because it's first 11, you'd have the XI, wouldn't you? Is that just because people didn't know Roman numerals and that?
I don't know, but why do they do that in Roman numerals anyway, in terms
That's
of
a fair question.
Games?
I don't know.
Probably from the fields of Eton, isn't it? Probably, something like that.
You're probably right. Yes, that's something else I should be chippy about. Yes, yes. So we go into there's quite a lot of how can I put this? There's quite a lot of weak gags in this episode, and one of the first ones is we see a little sign for Ashfield Athletic, which is the name of the team. Someone's crossed out Athletic and put Ashfield Pathetic. That's a weak joke. That's a weak joke, Alan. That's the first joke.
It's also a very just blink and you miss it pass visual gag. So let's not put too much weight on it. That's all right. Let's not judge yet.
That's what we're opening with. Anyway, we go into the changing room. We're not in the changing room, are we? We're watching a match.
We see them play,
and we see them playing, and he's shouting at the players, which again, it's just gags. He's just doing gags.
Yeah, Ronnie Barker doing bits. I've got a clip of that actually as well. So yeah, they are playing, and indeed they are crap. So let's see how the manager responds to that.
God, it's like rehearsals from Mother Goose.
Come on, that's Biggins on the floor. He's injured.
Christopher Biggins is the player. Yes.
Wasting time. Threaten him with a kiss of life. That'll bring him to his feet. Get off! Separate them, ref. They could be mating down there. Ask the goalie what bait he's using to get all that stuff in his neck.
Oh, that's a good joke. What bait's he using? Oh, very good, very good. No,
curious how much of that was
raised the smile.
How much of that was in the scripts? How much of that was Ronnie Barker can write stuff, right? Let's throw some things out there. Just film him for 5 minutes doing bits. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. It's a little bit disjointed because we've got Ronnie Barker just like shouting, standing on his own shouting, and then we cut to action on the pitch, and it feels disjointed, cutting from one to the other. It doesn't feel like it was done on the same day. And there is a problem throughout this episode, which is often a problem when you have sport, but especially football on film. It just looks rubbish. It doesn't look realistic. I don't mean they're rubbish footballers. I just mean it looks all fake. Do you know what I mean?
But I think you've kind of landed on it though. It obviously it is fake, but also they're not footballers, so maybe that is why. It looks so
very
fake.
Obviously, very
but it is just like, okay, you're going to dribble over here, you're going to kick it over there, and this person is going to not tackle you. But there's no natural flow of the game. Yeah, but there's plenty of films and stuff where you get proper good looking football. It's just
are there. There aren't that many films. It always looks fake. It always looks not very realistic. I suppose the honourable exception is Escape to Victory. But that's because they got footballers. Like they got Pele is in that film. Bobby Moore is in that film. And but even then, Sylvester Stallone doesn't look realistic in goal.
Yes, but Gareth, you're forgetting that in the Porridge film they had Duncan Preston playing football, so it made you look foolish.
And listen, I understand why. I understand why it's a problem. You get actors like, I can't imagine Biggins is playing five-a-side every week, but you know, it does. It's a problem. It's a problem when filming football, I think.
Yeah, no, I understand. And in fact, in this particular show, they don't even really make a pretense to get it realistic. It's very simple and basic. Just show some men running around, and that's about it, really. Yeah.
So we let's go back to it. So we've established that the team are rubbish, and that Ronnie Barker's character Spanner is basically impotently shouting from the sidelines, and that's his role. Oh, he also sells the hot dogs, but that's his job.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, we cut to him driving a wedding car. He's got a bride and groom in the back.
Yeah. So as far as I can tell, he's a taxi driver, but he also has a bus. So he's kind of a general driver guy. But he runs his own business. And the car, yeah. And part of his plan of making money out of the football team is that, when we have an away match, that'll be at least 3 busfuls of supporters to take, which obviously has not transpired to be the case. So he's got a fleet of buses. I don't know, but like that's how he's making a living as a driver. So let's have a look at how driving was portrayed in the 1970s sitcom world. Have a look at this.
Do you follow football at all? Did you see him last Saturday? Our formation dancing team? Managed to struggle to an 8-0 defeat. 8-0. Would have been 9. Only Butterfingers accidentally knocked one out with his elbow when he was trying to protect his face. Oh dear.
So I've got a lot to say about this.
Yeah,
so for those that are listening, we've got like a back projection. So he's sat in the car driving. In the back seat, there's a bride and groom getting off with each other, not listening. Yeah. And we've got, that back projection of the street disappearing behind them. But what I noticed, and once I'd noticed I couldn't unnotice it, is he's like moving his hands. He's steering all over the place. Car's going in a straight line. He's doing it all this. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going, mate?
Why do they do this?
He's doing his drive. Go on, do your driving, Ronnie.
I appreciate that. This is a different time, and steering wheels weren't quite as firm as they are now. Perhaps not as sensitive as they are.
Maybe this is the arrogance of the power steering generation.
But he is just constantly. He's at 10-2, but he's just constantly moving to 11-3, 9-4.
I noticed it, and then I was like, "Oh God, I can't unsee this." I just couldn't pay any attention to anything else once that happened.
It is there. You see this a lot actually in these sort of back projections, because obviously this is just a car sat in front of a camera with a screen behind it showing the road, right? Yeah. So. Is it an actor's kind of self-conscious nature to go, well, I better look like I'm driving, I'm steering?
When he's driving, doing his driving acting. That's what he's doing.
That's it. When you drive, you just hold the steering wheel still unless you have to move. Yeah, it's very odd.
I have one thing to say, and we heard it then. 8-0. I've never heard that. I've never heard fizzing as a TV friendly swear, but I like it. I think I'm going to start using it so we can not be explicit on the podcast.
Hey, there's another gag at the end of this scene that I want to ask you about, because he's driving what is essentially a taxi with some ribbons on it, therefore a wedding car. The bride and groom are both in there, so presumably it's after the wedding, and he's taking them to I don't know, the airport for their fancy foreign honeymoon or whatever. So,
or the train station, Skegness.
Yeah, but then it goes to a close up of the back of the car, and I'll just show you I'll show you the image here, because I want to know. It sets this up as if it's a joke. So, I don't get that. He's got a bumper sticker, basically. Well, it's in the back window, but a sticker, and it says, "Support your local team with an appliance or something." That feels like a very specific reference to something, doesn't it?
I don't know. Is it like support it physically with a physical thing? I don't get it, Alan. I don't get it.
I was hoping you could explain it, because I didn't get it, but it definitely focused on it as if it was a gag and got a laugh. So if anybody out there can tell us what that means.
If you'd like to explain the joke, that will definitely make it funny. All right, so we've seen him at the football, we've seen him at his job. Like you say, he likes a pound note. There's been a bit of exposition that the physio we've briefly met is after his job. Horace the vet is the physio.
Horace the vet. I think the idea is that he's the manager. Horace the vet is the trainer. He's the one actually doing kind of the hands-on stuff.
I've written down physio because he's like the St. John's ambulance. He's the one who has the bandages and the bucket.
So
physio's probably a bit strong.
This particular character, the setup is he's a vet, and all he's interested in is like getting them injured so that he can treat them, and like he's obsessed, and he's a St. John's ambulance guy, which is a bit weird. And that was it. It didn't really come together, and they don't give that character
not a rounded character. Not a rounded character. We barely see because the other thing was, for the socials, I always try and get some screenshots, and I couldn't get a screenshot of that actor of Horace because he's just hardly ever on screen. He's never in close up. He's just always in the background.
And it feels like that should be a significant character, shouldn't it? Because we've got like he's one of the mainstays. I appreciate the football players. We'll come to them in a little bit. Like we get little glimpses of them, but we're not focusing on them. But it feels like this guy should be kind of a driving force on it. He's played by John Cater, I think it's pronounced Cater. Cater, I'm going with there. Yeah, one of those guys.
I name, didn't recognize him.
Definitely, you'll have seen him in something. He's been around the houses in those, but nothing specific I could kind of throw on. An interesting note: he was a regular in All Cock and Gander around this time, which was written by Cook and Mortimer just before they did Man About the House. So that sitcom starred Richard O'Sullivan. So he was in that as a regular. So that was kind of a more recent connection we've had. But other than that, just like one episode of this, one episode of that. He's one of those guys,
Yeah. So now we get the other part of Spanner's life, his domestic bliss. So we go to his house. He comes in the back door and his wife's just seeing off her friend, and he says something embarrassing about the friend. No big deal. But what is a big deal is the friend. Do we recognize her? Those who can see this, that is Bella Emberg.
Yeah. In a literally no lines, it's an extra role, which is kind of what she was doing at this time of her career. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
again, how old was she there? Did you look? Like,
I'm not sure.
You can't really tell, can you? She might be 20 or 40. You can't really tell.
She's ageless. But remember, again, when we talked about Man About the House, she popped up in the opening credits.
She's in the opening credits.
Later series. So that's a few years after this, and she's still doing non-speaking traffic warden roles. So she was not a well-known kind of entity at this point.
So we talk about the actress who plays Spanner's wife, Priscilla Morgan.
Yes,
I didn't know much about her. Tell me about her.
Let's introduce her with a little clip of the two of them interacting. A clip I've labeled "Weak Football Gags." This is like if you went to a writer, we need some football-based gags.
All right, let's give it a go. Come on, we can do this.
What about that time I appeared wearing hot pants? All you did was blow your whistle.
Well, you was offside, weren't you? Certainly from where I was standing. Anyway, that was a foul tackle, that was. You're not supposed to use your elbow like that on a man when he's bending over with his head in a taxi bonnet. Go on.
Hey.
Yeah, weak.
So, they're definitely weak gags, but you have, it does highlight a thing here, which there's a lot of innuendo. It's quite sexy, isn't it? It's quite sexy.
It's a bit raunchy, isn't it? I was slightly surprised by that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, there's later on we'll see she gets dressed up in her best nightie for when he gets back. She's showing a bit of leg. Oh.
But he's well and truly after her later on. We'll have some more clips of that later on. But it was actually quite full on for 1970, 73. This was. I thought it was a bit. I'm all right with it. Doesn't cross the line.
What about Priscilla Morgan then? Because I didn't recognise her. She's good. I think she's great in this, but I didn't really know her.
Yeah, I again, not someone you would kind of, there's an immediate go-to answer, like, where do I know her from? But it just was in a lot of stuff. And there's a sort of a quite specific connection here, because one of the other pilots within 7 of 1 was called My Old Man. And it's about Ronnie Barker plays an old fella who's getting chucked out of his, as we've seen so many times in our 70s sitcoms, getting chucked out of his house because they're knocking it all down, and he has to go and move in with his daughter and her family up in some tower block somewhere, right? So it's a perfectly good episode. Now, the BBC didn't carry that on, but ITV picked it up as a series, and it ran for a couple of years, but they recast it. And so instead of Ronnie Barker, they had Clive Dunn. And instead of Anne Beach, who played the daughter in the pilot, they got Priscilla Morgan. She played the daughter in that.
Right.
Now, so that was her kind of most regular sitcom role. There's a couple of series on that. Here's another little side connection to that. Priscilla Morgan is Clive Dunn's wife.
Get up
at the time.
Yes. Hang on. All right. So we know that Clive Dunn's not as old as he looks.
Yeah.
But surely there's an age difference there. I can't put it all together because this is a long time ago.
No, he's 14 years older than her.
That's fine.
But then obviously,
that is fine.
obviously aged up to play her father in that particular series.
Were they married at the time, or did they find love across the generations?
They were married like right from the 50s. Like they were married for a long time, from what I could tell.
Okay, well, that's a nice story. Yeah. I think. How early? Never mind. Let's not interrogate it too hard. Very good, very good.
But yeah, so Priscilla Morgan, I think she comes across really nicely here, and the repartee between her and Ronnie Barker is really nice, and like say, it gets a bit raunchy, but it always feels quite playful and fun.
This is definitely my favourite bit of the whole thing. Like, you know, if this did go to a series, this would be where the comedy was between them two. I thought they had real good rapport, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the whole thing's supposed to be about football, which is the weaker bit.
Now, I think we have to deal with the decor here. We love a bit of 70s fashion and styling. So I've thrown up a picture here of the living room set that someone has created here. And it's the most 70s thing. Yeah.
Look at that carpet. So we've got like a gold and brown carpet with patterns.
There's a lot of sepias.
They sort of look like bacilli. They sort of look like Alexander Fleming would be looking at that under the microscope. Yeah, Google it. We've got virtually the same coloured wallpaper. Sort of orange and white, darker orange curtains, an orange light shade, and sort of orangey wood effect kitchen. It's just a rhapsody in orange, isn't it?
Sort of a brownie orange windows, even. Was the brownie orange vibe to cover the nicotine stains?
Probably. Yeah, you might have something there. As I say, it looks like a sepia photograph, but it's actually a colour photograph. But yeah, you know what? You might have something. I wonder if that was why sort of stained orange was the fashionable colour for so long. Yeah.
And this whole thing, it's a living room, dining room, kitchen in one. So
it's not a big place.
They haven't got a big place that they're living in. We see their bedroom later on as well. So. But a lovely bit of 70s decor there. I think we can all appreciate that.
Very good. Very good. So, the other thing is we see her answering the phone for him because he's got this taxi business. So she's kind of, that's her job, whether she likes it or not.
She comes home. This sort of struck me because he comes home and says like, "Oh, any calls, love?" And obviously he's a taxi driver or whatever driver he is. He's out most of the time. So the wife becomes de facto receptionist / secretary, whether she likes it or not. I bet she's not getting a wage.
She gets housekeeping.
But yeah, it just sort of, it was one that threw me, but it took me back to my childhood because our mother used to work as a self-employed and she was out on the road most of the day. Mm-hmm. And so I sort of, it's a bit after your time, but I had to consciously stop answering the phone because I was like, I can't be bothered dealing with this. Let the answer machine do it.
She was a chiropodist. So I didn't know that. So again, that was after my time. It was after I'd gone. So you used to be taking calls from old people with manky feet. Is that?
Yeah, they say, "Oh, can you get in for it?" And we had a big ledger by the phone, handwritten, with dates and like a calendar, so we could put things in. And I just was like, I'm not getting involved. Let the answer machine do it.
Yeah. This is before mobiles. You had to answer the phone. It might be one of your mates, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It never was.
But yeah, that really sort of, it just was like, oh yeah, a different time. We haven't got mobiles. Can't text for a taxi, can you? Yeah.
Just WhatsApp me. Yeah. So okay, let's move on to the next scene there. So now we've got, as you said, as well as his car, he's got a bus somehow, and he's like, so he's driving people who have got lots of bandages on them. What is this, Alan? What is this? What is happening here?
I think his wife phrases it as, "Oh, you've got the fractures ward impatience to take," or something like that. Inpatient fractures ward.
Have you got a clip of this? So it's just basically people with ridiculous bandages all over them, and they're Chekhov's bandages. It'll come up again later, but yeah, what is this job that he's doing now? It might be you're taking people to the hospital for their outpatients appointment. I couldn't figure it out, but it was silly. It was a bit silly.
And once again, everyone just as our wedding couple, everyone in the back has been told to not talk. You're not paid to talk.
Don't let
Ronnie Barker talk over you. So here we go.
Yeah, so he just does all the talking.
Bit more wisecracking going on.
How did you lot get like this anyhow? Fall into the clutches of the phantom bandager, did you? Leaps from the darkness, waving 40 foot of glistening sticky plaster.
So I just wanted to show that clip because of the driving. Once again, he's going crazy with the steering wheel. But this is actually shot on location. This is film.
It is.
Tell this is
so
not
they'll be sat on a
production.
flatbed, will he?
Yeah, like on a tow truck kind of thing. So he could at least watch the road and move the wheel to the road to some degree, yeah. But certainly he doesn't appear to be matching the background. I don't think he's actually driving it.
Yeah, but look at these guys behind. That woman's got her arm up in one of those like little stable things. Everybody's got a bandage round their head and a cast on their arm. This guy looks like he's got toothache as well as having broken his arm. I don't know what's going on. It's insane. It's like it's like a comic is what it is. It's like in the Beano, somebody who's been in an accident.
Right, let's get into the football action then, shall we? That's what this is all about.
So the next scene we're in the dressing room. So it's Spanner and Horace the vet, and now in comes. When you say get into the football, we're not into the football. We're into people talking about football. In comes Bill Maynard.
Area, yes.
All right, we're in the football area. I think that's what they call. Sometimes they call them stadiums. We're in the football area, and in comes Bill Maynard to give Spanner a hard time. And it's always nice to see Bill Maynard, isn't it?
Yeah, we saw Bill Maynard very recently when, again, we were talking about Man About the House film. He pops up in that. He's dressed as a Cossack here for some reason, I think.
He's the councillor. Is he like the head of the council? He's not the mayor, is he?
No, he's a councillor. But I guess he's Labour.
Of course.
This is I've got a clip actually just to show a bit of Bill Maynard here, and it kind of sets up the antagonism of the plot. But also just keep an eye out at the very end of this clip because you'll see Ronnie Barker throws a shirt, and you will notice that
it sticks on the door.
He gets an extra laugh out of this accidentally, I think. So let's have a look at this clip.
Horace is showing that film tonight just to me and the team. And if they're as bad as what he says they are, I'm going to start showing it to the other councillors and the local press and any others who won't be too pleased that you're turning Ashfield into a laughing stock.
Now, listen, you think a bit more than me. You think before you start slinging mud around. Look, surely these colours must mean something to you.
Who picked them?
I did.
Or only because you got them wholesale.
That was good.
I think it's genuine. I don't think it was expected to land perfectly on the nail.
No, but the double take is what got the laugh. He can work a crowd, can Barker. That's very good.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
So here's a question for you. When we've all seen this play out in the media, football team's doing badly, the manager's under pressure. Is the manager usually under pressure from the local council? Does the local council have influence on the football team normally? I've never come across that before.
I think the idea is that this is so small that they're kind of representing the town and it's making them look bad. But it's I don't know. Maybe they get funding from the council if it's at such a small level. Nevertheless,
the point is that Spanner is under pressure and he's got to go to the council tonight to defend himself against these criticisms.
Yes.
But actually, before we get to that, he goes home to tell his wife that he's got to go out tonight to the council.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bit more sexy times here. Gets her into a sexy negligee, doesn't he?
Well, let's have a little clip.
There's a good joke here. Have you got this on a clip? I'll not do the joke. Go on.
Well, let's see. I did pull a clip. Let's see what we got here.
You're how about a bit off these, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Here, I shan't be home late tonight, so if you care to be wearing something stimulating rather than comfortable, I'll be very much obliged.
You're all right. If you're going to be like that, I'll clean your rotten shoes. And don't come back in a temper like you usually do.
Oh, no, not tonight. Single-handed, I've got to force them into doing things my way. I shall come home flush with power, so get your holiday nightie out. Not that damn old thing you usually wear. It's like ploughing your way through a refreshment tent.
I like that joke. That made me laugh. Get your holiday nightie out.
But again, that's definitely the strongest element of this show, isn't it? That kind of little bit of banter between
them two together. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
nice and fun.
Definitely. So next we go to the council, and this is a really odd sequence, just dramatically. This is so weird. So basically, we're watching a cine film that Horace the Vet has taken of the players being crap, and you've got Ronnie Barker essentially commentating. It feels very disjointed, a bit like earlier when he's shouting from the side, and you can sort of hear the other councillors harumphing in the background. It's just really weird, and it's not funny. It's not funny, Alan.
It's not, and all the video, it's obviously like a Super 8 kind of video, whatever, and it's all non-audio. That's why they're talking over it. But it's lots of visual gags. It's like,
well, God knows I can relate to that.
So it's weak visual gags, really, basically, is what it is. And then,
with someone explaining them.
And then, the kind of a bit of banter over the top of it, and not even like Ronnie Barker banter, but it's Biggins banter. I've got a clip of Biggins here. Let's have a look, a closer look at him.
Oh, I should get an Oscar for that. You'd be better off with a bread poultice.
Nice one, Cyril.
It was all right after I put a splint on it. So I'll get that dentist.
So yeah, that's about as good as it gets, really.
Yeah. Shall we talk about any of the actors playing footballers? Obviously, Biggins.
Sure.
Do we have to talk about Biggins? Do we have to? Obviously, we have seen him in the past in Porridge, haven't we? He was one of the lags in Porridge.
Yeah. Didn't play football in that, but certainly that was just a couple of years after this, I suppose. Yeah, but Christopher Biggins, he was going places at this point. But yeah, I think we all know who Christopher Biggins is.
When was I, Claudius? He was in I, Claudius. I know that's not a sitcom, but he was in that, and he was Nero in that. So
70s, I think.
When in the 70s was that? Well, obviously after this, wasn't it? Yeah.
We've also got he was, of course, in Rocky Horror Picture Show in 75, and I'm just bringing that up briefly because the guy who plays the goalkeeper, Butterfingers, in this was also one of the Transylvanians in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay, that's interesting because he's a very oddly shaped man. Obviously, he's lanky as a goalkeeper, but he was very unusual shape of human.
Yeah, he's 6'6" and gangly with it. Yeah, so and that's what he's there for. And it does. I actually looked into him, and like acting wise, he's played a few comedic roles as a tall man when they need a tall man for a sketch or something. But he was
Rocky Horror check.
Yeah, but he was apparently he was the body double for like Darth Vader and Chewbacca and characters like that in Star Wars. So that's kind of, I think he made a bit of money out of that rather than as an actor, which is all right.
Fair enough.
So there is a couple of other notable actors.
Can I? There's one other that I really want to highlight. So long-time listeners will know the name Brian Godfrey. Brian Godfrey plays one of the players called Playboy, who's a bit of a ladies' man. Yeah, and Brian Godfrey is the terrible barman from the Jim Davidson sitcom that we watched.
Yes, we've seen him in quite a few things. We saw him pick a fight with Sam Callow.
Chance in a Million. Yeah,
Chance in a Million. Well, he was in something else as well, but. Yeah. Oh, he was in a Heidi High episode as a rival comic to Paul Shane. But it's not like he's had that many sort of sitcom roles. We just seem to keep finding him.
We just seem to have chanced upon him, as it were. I remember you telling me, wasn't he a big in the farce world, on the farce scene?
Guys, yeah.
Yeah,
and he plays Playboy, and there's a scene later on where we see him in his civvies, where he's not in the football kit, and he's got like bright red heels, like Cuban heel kind of thing going on, and a gold blazer.
So the joke of this character is he's a ladies' man. He's always he's always chasing / catching women.
Yeah.
What little character development we can call it.
Yeah.
That's what we say about him. And then there's another one. There's like I don't think he's the captain, but I'm going to call him the senior player, top left, if you can see that.
Yeah.
I call him the senior player because he looks older than Ronnie Barker. He looks about 50, but he's probably 27, isn't he?
Yeah, this is just bald, and this is the 70s. He's
yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even write his name down, bless him, because I looked him up and there was kind of no, like he has a handful of credits, but he didn't go on to be, which I actually quite like him in this. I think he has a nice energy. He's got,
do you know what? He was all right. Yeah. Look, he has 4 lines, but he was all right. He did his job well.
And he looks like a local footballer in the 70s. That's good casting. There is one other notable actor in this.
I'll tell you who he reminded me of. And this is maybe because it was the scene after Biggins and I was thinking of Porridge. He reminds me of Brian Glover in Porridge. A sort of big dopey lunk.
Yeah, it's the sort of casting he would get, I suppose. I get it. Now, there is one other actor, just to point out here, and I put a picture of the team picture up. There's only 10 people in this team. I don't know if that's relevant. Why they're not doing too well.
I hadn't noticed that.
Well, of course, when we see them knocking about in the changing room, there's basically 6 of them because, like, who can afford extras? Who can afford 11 people? Let's get. Yeah. There's only 4 or 5 notable ones who have lines. But standing right next to the very tall man is the very short man for comedic effect.
How funny standing next to each other like that.
And that is a notable actor. That's John Lewis Mancy, who is basically best known as Smallhausen from Allo Allo.
All right. Yeah.
Gestapo Smallhausen.
Yeah.
That's him.
Was he in? There's a sitcom in the 80s that had Christopher Ryan in it, and I think it might have been called "It's a Small World," and it was about small people. It was okay, God, I'm half remembering this. It was like a satire of apartheid. So if you were under a certain height, you were only allowed to live in certain neighborhoods, and they were victimized. And it was, it was like sledgehammer subtle satire on racism.
Sounds good.
I think he was one of the main characters in that, if I remember rightly.
It would make sense if you're hiring an actor who is short at that time, around that time. That would make sense. And I am live looking it up on IMDb. I'm going to try and find it for you to give you some sense of closure.
Look up Christopher Ryan. I think he might have been called "It's a Small World."
I found a series called "A Small Problem." Let's see if that's the
that might be
the
it.
one
That
we're
might be
looking for. Satire on apartheid and prejudice set in a version of Britain where anyone under 5 feet tall was considered second-class citizens. And is his name in the credits? I'm not seeing him in the credits.
All right, so I'm just being massively. It's not even racist. I don't know what I am. I'm a monster.
It's shortest. I'd never heard of that. I'm fascinated by that. We should.
I remember it, and then I probably went. I watched an episode of it on Dailymotion, maybe 5 years ago, not that recently. But it was rubbish. but it might be an interesting one for us to cover because it's of its time, very of its time.
Okay, well, we'll get to that one.
I'll put it on the long list. Okay, so let's get back to our episode here of Spanners 11. So we've been watching the film and we saw the commentary of it. Basically, the gist is team are rubbish.
Yeah.
So we can then cut to the home and Priscilla Morgan's got a sexy nightie on, a holiday nightie, but he's distracted. He's not into it. He's worried because they've got to win this game. They've got to win this game this weekend. Otherwise, he's for the sack.
Well, we get a comedy bit where she's cleaning the oven, and then she hears him come home. So she whips off a coat, and she's got the holiday nightie underneath. Yeah. But I pulled a clip here, just of our raunchy clips. But this is them
in bed.
Yes, this is Albert Spanner giving it the old college try, but finding that. His difficulty on the football pitch is giving him impotence. But this is him giving it a good old go anyway.
Well, how was I to know they'd pull a stroke like that? What am I going to do?
Don't ask me. And you know what you kidded me on you was going to do.
He's like rubbing himself against her, yeah? the laughter of the audience there, man. They love that.
Ronnie Barker is a master of his craft. All he's doing is basically putting his leg over. But yeah, but brilliant stuff.
Very good, very good. All right, so we've got to win this game. That's the tension of the episode.
He has to win one game, or the council will remove him from his position as manager. However that works. Go on.
However that works. Yeah. So now we cut to the changing room before this big game. And this is the first time we really get to see the players, or get to hear the players speaking, and they are actually acting. They are, and Spanner has a cunning plan, doesn't he? So let me cut to the chase. Basically, he goes back and he gets the bandage people that we saw earlier, and he brings them to the match to watch, and he gets the dopey player to tell the opposition, that's the last lot that beat us. Thus implying, you beat us, you get beaten up. That's it. That's it. And that works. Somehow that works.
It throws off the opposition enough. So that's fine. And there's actually a scene here. They do a big wide shot of the players backing off. And I'm just going to throw it up here as
this
a little...
Is bad. This is really bad.
Well, I'm just throwing up a still image here, because what you'll see here is the opposition in blue, and you will notice...
There's 11 of them. I just counted them. There's 11 of them.
There are 11 players, and obviously that does not include the goalkeeper, who is wearing a different colour, so it's definitely not one of them, and is in goal. So the most basic football...
How have they done that, Alan? How have they got an extra kit? They must have ordered an extra kit for somebody.
Yeah, and this is during the game.
Do you reckon that's just like a local football team? They've just said, come down and...
Yeah, probably was actually. Yeah, why source? Yeah. It's probably Edgware Town.
yeah.
I know. I just noticed that a minor error, but I don't know why. How does that happen? But there we go.
That's funny. That is funny.
Caretaker.
Well spotted. More bad football action. But, the gist of it is they won. They win the game. Spanner saves his job. Everybody's happy. He goes home, and now he has got the horn.
Impotence cleared. Thanks to his football success.
I can't remember. I've written this down. I can't remember if he said it or she said it. He's full of Eastern promise and whiskey.
She says that, yeah.
I don't know what Eastern promise is, really. It's just a euphemism, isn't it? But it works. It works for me.
One more clip then of the raunchiness. And again,
yes, please.
just absolutely brilliant, Ronnie. Like the interplay between them is really nice. But just Ronnie Barker, the words he's saying aren't euphemistic; they're not dirty, but he makes them work. So let's have a look. I think this is really good stuff.
We beat them 4-3.
Tea's in the oven?
Oh no, it's not. It's in your dressing table, second drawer down. Get your holiday night here.
Are you looking for polishing rags again?
You say that to me, the Steve McQueen of the taxi business?
Now, do you or don't you want ground rice pudding?
Ooh.
Ground rice pudding.
You're absolutely right, Alan.
That's not
that written down makes no sense at all.
Oh god, I know
that is good stuff.
We've done it all before, but Ronnie Barker, what a master of his craft. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
So just to, in case our listeners haven't seen the episode, what happens now is he sends her upstairs to slip into something more comfortable, and then he gets distracted watching Match of the Day. that is the story of their marriage.
Yeah, that's the ending little gag, isn't it? Yeah, which is
that's great. Sort of the end of the episode, and I can see why this didn't go to a series. I think the football side of it's all a bit silly, but I really enjoyed the interaction between him and Priscilla Morgan. I thought those scenes were really great. You could see that relationship growing.
Yeah. Just to we've just had a bit of fun watching the clips, but if just to get a bit of analytical behind it. I don't think there's anything wrong with this as a little simple pilot. Like, it works, and you can see where things could be expanded. I think Horace the vet as a character needs more definition. Having the counselor as an antagonist, or be that the chairman or whatever, having an upper antagonist is fine. That's great. You got this guy who's not that bothered about the football. He just wants to make money. I can see where that was going. Nice interplay with the wife. And the players, you need 4 players who are going to be the ones who have lines, and you've got those kind of archetypes there. The one who's just there for the ladies, the one who's a bit simple, the one who's really small, so he just grabs onto people. You know what I mean? Like I think it works. It is a little bit Beano cartoon.
It's the Backstreet Kids, isn't it? They're the Backstreet Kids, the football.
It's a little bit Backstreet Kids, but that's all right. It works for what it is. So I think the ingredients are there, but they're not quite good enough. It's just maybe. Yeah. But obviously, like I say, there was plenty of success came out of this series, so there's only so much you can do. Sure. And we will be talking about the same sort of time period next week when we deal with the Rise and Rise of Michael Rimmer.
Yeah, so for our Patreons, next week we are going to cover this satirical film from 1970. And if you are not already a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/BritCompod and sign up there for £5 a month. But to all our listeners, thank you so much for joining us for our last of the Summer Wine series, last 2 episodes. And today we've covered something slightly different, but with that Roy Clarke connection. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll be back next week for our Patreons and in 2 weeks with a whole new sitcom for everyone else. If you want to follow us on the social media, you can go to Instagram. We are at BritCompod. And you can just find us on Facebook, British Sitcom History Podcast, or follow our YouTube page where you can see us in glorious Technicolor. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We will speak to you all soon and see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.